Take Michigan State and Utah as the bowl season cranks up. So we do it at this time of the day. We call it Best for Last. Here we go.
After almost 3 hours, Colin apparently hasn't gotten to the point yet. Quit holding out on us, cowherd. It's the best for last.
So the Chargers host the Ravens Saturday night. Chargers are my number one team in herd hierarchy. The Ravens I picked as my Super Bowl dark horse team. So I decided Chargers have won 10 of 11 games. I decided this is an opportunity. They're going to be in my backyard 15 minutes from my house. Ravens are 4-1 with Lamar Jackson. I'm going to actually go to the game and sit right in the middle of Ravens fans. We have a picture of how awkward this is going to be. And, I'm going to have...
Hey, you've got a hoodie on there.
I don't know where we got that picture. So weird. But I was talking yesterday to somebody in the league, and, this is what we do. You have all sorts of sources. I have sources. And the person said, I can't wait to watch this game, said this person in the league, because you've got the Chargers defense is stacked, and what Baltimore is doing, it's a little wing T, right? And the person said, you should go back and check out Tebow and Denver's run and see if it compares to Baltimore and Lamar Jackson's run, where you have a great runner who's not really considered a great passer, and you can win in this league. So sure enough, and remember the great Saturday Night Live skit with Tebow, where they had Matt Prater, a great kicker, they had a great defense, and they were winning these kind of ugly, low-scoring games. Remember this bit on Saturday Night Live?
Here's the thing, okay? If we're going to keep doing this, you guys got to meet me halfway out there. I mean, let's face it. It's not a good week if every week I, the son of God, have to come in, drop everything, and bail out the Denver Broncos in the fourth quarter, okay? I'm a busy guy.
So, wait. You're only helping in the fourth quarter?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you watched the game film, Tim, of the first half? I mean, come on, 3 for 16? I could throw better. I'm 2010 years old, huh?
So we looked up some stats. Sure enough, prodded by an NFL exec that says this is going to be a great game to watch because you got a Tebow thing going on here. And he said, don't forget, Tebow won a playoff game. So if you look at wins, points per game, completion percentage, passing yards, and rushing touchdowns, it is shockingly similar. Tebow and Lamar, known as great college players who early in their career especially are more runner than thrower. Here's some other similarities to throw at you. The 5 teams Lamar had faced so far are the 5 worst scoring defenses in the NFL this season. It's just happenstance. Tebow didn't face a top 10 scoring defense during his 6-game winning streak. Here's another similarity. Tebow lost to the Patriots in the playoffs. Currently, the Ravens are the 6th seed and would face the Patriots. Both didn't throw more than 25 attempts in their first 5 games of their hot stretch, and both had more rushing attempts than completions. So when you look at the numbers and you look at the similarities, now I do think Lamar, though not the ideal throwing motion, is a better thrower than Tebow. Both were first-round quarterbacks. I never bought into Tebow at all long-term. I think Lamar is more sustainable, but like Tebow, I do think there's a sustainable issue. He is not a big guy, and I don't know how long you can... I called a scout years ago, and we were talking about Tebow. And I remember him saying this about Tebow. He goes, listen, Tebow is big. He's built like a fullback. He goes, Colin, there's a reason fullbacks don't last in this league. Tebow's going to have to throw at some point 32 times. And now Tebow is a big... You see him in baseball. He's a big... He looks like Bryce. He's bigger than Bryce Harper. He's a big, thick kid. And this was a guy a year ago saying, nothing against Tebow, but fullbacks don't last in this league. Like, Tebow's not going to last. Forget the throwing. He can't take those beatings. So I do think there's a sustainability issue, but Tebow got hot. Baltimore's got a great kicker. Denver had great defenses. And when you get this 5 or 6 game stretch, and it just happens, you kind of line up with defenses not equipped to stop you. I will take the Chargers to beat the Ravens, but I think it will be really fun and really competitive. But I think the Chargers eventually can do more things offensively and will pull away. And once again, here's that really weird, awkward picture of me sitting in the middle of Raven fans. It's funny. It's the hottest ticket in the NFL. And now you got the smallest stadium with the hottest ticket. And it's also this weekend an incredibly meaningful game.
Well, it's funny that we were just talking about this a few weeks ago before everyone else was on the Chargers. Where are they going to have a parade?
Yeah, it's different.
It's a very real question. They're considered in the Super Bowl run. They're an all-around great team. This could happen.
This is one of these things. I love the NFL, but they moved 3 teams in a 6-month stretch. Rams to L.A., Chargers to L.A., Raiders, you go ahead and move. 2 of them are a mess. The Chargers are a loaded team, but they're kind of struggling with an identity. The Raiders do not have a stadium to play in next year. This weekend will be the last game, potentially, the Raiders ever play at the Coliseum. They have nowhere to play. Thank God the Rams, and even they're in a college stadium right now, as theirs is being built. I think the NFL, I always felt the NFL picks and chooses who they want to succeed. If Philadelphia, Green Bay, Chicago, Dallas said we're leaving, the NFL would step in. If Jacksonville said they're leaving, nobody cares. If Buffalo said we're going to London, NFL wouldn't care. The NFL could have easily helped the Raiders build a stadium, the Chargers build a stadium. The Rams move, I totally get. LA is too big of a city not to have an NFL franchise. It makes
NFL franchise.
Yeah, they
went from having none to having 2.
You can't have the biggest sports league in the world and not be in the entertainment capital of the country. It's stupid. You can't have a stadium. You can't have a franchise in Jacksonville and not have one in Los Angeles. That doesn't make any sense. So, by the way, the Jim Harbaugh rumor today, Pro Football Talk said one team will aggressively pursue Jim Harbaugh. They did not name the team. They said there is one team that will make an aggressive move toward Jim Harbaugh. Now, Harbaugh, the recruiting season is mostly over. I do think there's reasons why Jim Harbaugh could leave Michigan. He's never going to win a national championship there. The South has more good players in their geographical footprint. Bama, Auburn, Georgia, Clemson. Second of all, recruiting's a pain in the butt. Most coaches don't love doing it. And 3, he's a Super Bowl caliber head coach who was unjustly fired because he couldn't get along with Jed York or Trent Baalke. There's also reasons why I get Jim Harbaugh would stay, and I think those are very real. It's his program. He played there. He loves it. Bo Schembechler, he idolizes him. Michigan's a great place to live. Ann Arbor. Second thing, Urban Meyer's leaving, so it's going to be Jim Harbaugh and James Franklin and a bunch of dudes. And then you don't have to deal with a crazy owner. And that's a thing. He got thrown out of the NFL because of a crazy owner. But my takeaway on this is Jim Harbaugh's got 15 more years of head coaching. He's going to be offered a job every year in the NFL for the next 15 years. And he's eventually going to get a situation. I thought the Indy job was perfect. Andrew Luck.
It might have been, but I think it's too soon for him to leave Michigan, his work there, and not finish.
Just ask yourself, if you're an aspirational person and you've already done great, you got a pile of money, a beautiful wife and family, and your legacy's cemented, and for 15 straight years, you get offered the highest level of coaching.
Well, I don't think his legacy is cemented there yet, though.
Well, I think if he wins a couple of Big Tens the next couple of years. But he's certainly not a failure at Michigan.
No.
But he hasn't won to the level, and now he will. So I just don't think Jim for 15 years is going to turn down all the opportunities he's going to be afforded. All right, Blazing 5 tomorrow. We are red hot, back-to-back winning weeks. One of our last Blazing 5s. We have about 3 to go in L.A. See you tomorrow. It's The Herd.